One question that can be challenging for some investors is the question of reassessment and reallocation. Once you've done all that work up front to decide where you want to invest, it can seem kind of painful to revisit all those same questions over and over again. And yet when you look at the best investors over time, you're doing this all day, every day, whether you're conscious of it or not. And the same is true with natural systems. If the weather changes or the temperature goes up or it gets very dry or very rainy, almost all natural organisms and natural systems have ways to calibrate for that. Sometimes people take a very romantic view of nature and they'll say things like, oh, nature, it's always in balance and harmony. Totally untrue. Nature is almost never in balance and harmony, and that's exactly the point. It's always seeking balance and harmony and has a lot of amazing mechanics that help it to do so, but it's not in this blissful, ever-present, automatic stasis. And the same is true for us as investors. So one example to think about here is the Toco Toucan. I have to admit, until recently, I had only seen toucans on the cover of my breakfast cereal carton. But the toucan is amazing. As you might know, it has this huge bill. That's the main feature of the toucan. And it turns out it's not just for cartoon purposes. That bill is an automatic heat exchanger. So the temperature can go way up and way down, and the toucan can adjust its own body temperature without actually moving around, without flapping a single feather. When I think of the pain that is involved for some investors in thinking about reassessing their investment process or policies or specific investment decisions, I think of this toucan. Surely there are ways that we as investors can think about that reallocation, reassessment process in a way that is not so obtrusive, not so much flapping around, not so energy intensive. I think there's a lot we can learn from this bird and from its built-in mechanisms for reassessment and reallocation.